Hello, everyone. So, I was just writing a blog to show you how you can deploy your code to Heroku. Uh, to be specific, your Ruby code to Heroku. And in fact, I'm still writing it. I'm on my halfway of writing it when I realized that it's actually a good idea to create a screencast and show you how it's actually done. In fact, I'm also running a small experiment to see how much time it takes for someone who is trying it for the first time to deploy the code into a web server. So I have kept this place blank and will be filling up with the time it takes once the screencast is over, and you can have a look at it in the blog. So let's get started. So what you need first to the stuff that you need first to deploy your code to Heroku is a web app. So let's create a Rails app. Let's create a new blog for me. Let's call our project blog for me, and this will create a new Rails project for people who are new to Rails. Rails is the fastest way you can create web applications, and it's really easy. So they have an amazing documentation. So if you go to their site and look at the documentation, trust me, it doesn't take more than 15 minutes to go ahead and create your first web applications. Okay, so let's navigate to the folder and create some database for our project. So let's generate some database. So we'll call it post. What we need is a title for our blog, which is going to be a string, a body for the blog where people will actually write the blog, and say a user ID to identify who has written the blog. So this should create all your views and your assets, your styling, everything. So once this is done, let's do a db migrate to migrate the database, and let's start the Rails server. So okay, it says it's already in use. Okay, so let's find out. Fan TCP. So those servers usually started in port 3000, so I'm just searching if it's already been used, and looks like it is. So looks like there is another Ruby like WebRig server is running somewhere else. So let's kill it. I don't know what's running there though. All right, so now we're good to start our Rails server. All right, so now if you go to localhost 3000 and say post, you should see your apps. There it is. So now you can go ahead and create your post and just create it. Yeah, so let's consider that this is the app that we want to put in Heroku. So let me stop the server. So first thing you need to do is you need to put your code into Git. So let me initialize a Git repository and add all the stuff. Okay, so now let me commit it to Git. We'll call it first commit as usual. All right, now we have our code version controlled. Next thing you need to do is install Heroku. Gem install Heroku. So yeah, that's a easy step. Like Heroku gets installed as a gem, and I don't know. I have already installed Heroku, so I don't know what's gonna tell me. It should say me it's already exists though. Yeah, it's again taking. Okay, right. Yeah, usually it takes a little bit longer, but since I have actually installed it previously, so it was a bit faster. So what you can do is you can just say Heroku, and it will show you what are the optional parameters that you can use with Heroku. But as of now, let's say Heroku create. So this will create your remote, and if you have a domain in mind, or if you have a registered domain, you can just always pass it. But uh, by default, it will create the domain for you and put it in Heroku. You can change this later though, anytime. So next, you just have to do a git push Heroku master. So this will put your code to Heroku, and then Heroku will deploy your code. So see, once it is pushed, Heroku has detected that it's a Ruby app, and then it compiles. Then it will probably install all the dependent gems needed to deploy your code. That's what it's doing right now. And once this is done, you are all good to go. So let's see what happens. It looks like the bundler failed. Okay, that's because SQLite. So Heroku doesn't support SQLite, and by default, when you create a Rails app, your database is SQLite. So let's fix this. Let's open our code in RubyMine. You can use any IDE though. I'm not a great fan of IDE. I have always done it in different editors, text editors. Even I have done it in TextMate. But yeah, RubyMine is a good IDE. You can try it out. Yeah, so let's open our app. Okay, right, so let's go to the gem file. This is where it's specifically failing, right? So it's not able to install the SQLite 3. So let's do this. Let's tell that if you're in development, then only use SQLite 3, right? And when you are in production, in prod, use Postgres, because Heroku supports Postgres, right? So that should take care of it. So let's go ahead and commit this, say second commit, right? And let's do git push Heroku master. Okay, this should take care. This should have been taken care right now. Yeah, so that's one thing. Heroku doesn't support SQLite, but I guess that's not a problem. Yeah, so it's trying without development. So it should not try to install SQLite. Okay, so it's again installing all the dependent gems that it needs to deploy the code, and at the end it should give you the place where your code is deployed or your app is running. So recently I wanted to spike out some of the deployment tools for one of our MVPs, and the first tool that I tried was Heroku, and that's it. I didn't even bother to look at anything else, because given the time frame we had, it's Heroku was the perfect for that. So yeah, so it's launching the server right now, and that's it. So if we go to this, where it has deployed, you should see your app. So if I say post, something went wrong. One wondering what I have missed here. Oh, okay. So you need to run the db migrate. So Heroku has some tools which helps you, just like Rake, it has its own tools. So you can say Heroku run Rake db migrate. So this will migrate the database and you should be good to go. So yeah, so let's go back. Yep, there you go. There's your blog site all set for production. That's it. All right. Thank you for watching. And if you want to see how much time it took, you can just have a look at my blog.